Bayern Munich after a Sunderland player, blue cards in football. What's the world coming to? Alright everybody, welcome back to another match preview on the channel. This one's for Sunderland versus Plymouth at the Stadium of Light on a Saturday. In this one I'm going to be talking about Bale's interview, Bayern Munich, blue cards, and also the Plymouth preview. But before we get on with the rest of the video, do us a massive favour, like you always do, smash the thumbs up and subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. Now then, Bayern Munich, Manchester City, Liverpool and a list of other clubs are chasing down the signature of Chris RIGG. Yes, Chris RIGG's highly sought after. Sunderland have already knocked back 3 million approaches from Man United and Newcastle. Chris RIGG turned them down also. They thought Sunderland suits his needs as a developing young footballer. Now then, how much do you think we should accept for Chris RIGG? Comment below and let us know. Now, also, blue cards in football. This is just another thing them in the powers that be come up with to try and ruin the game. They've already half ruined it with VAR. I really do think VAR would work if it was ran properly. Maybe sit a professional footballer in there so they can give the benefit of the doubt call, if you know what I mean. Like, look at Triantis, his penalty when they got beat 3-0 off St Mirren. It was never a penalty. He didn't even see the ball. He didn't realise and it hit his arm. And all the commentators at the time were saying it's never a penalty. Now you can get a blue card for dissent or a certain tackle. And that gets you 10 minutes in the sin bin. What's your thoughts on that? Now then, Bale, in his interview, he has said that BALLARD will be playing on Saturday if he gets through training this week. He's also said, and I'm absolutely buzzing for the lad, Elliot Embleton will be playing tomorrow night in an under-21s game, which I'm so relieved. Been a long time out. Remember his goal at Wembley? Hopefully he can get back fit. Now then, Styles is training, but he's training by himself. Obviously, he had his operation. And that's good news regarding him as well. Bale, for me, this interview was a hell of a lot more different to interviews gone by. He was much more relaxed. Obviously, him and his PR team has been working on the communication skills because he said some good things regarding Sunderland. It's totally chalk and cheese since the last time he opened his mouth and he said the outside noise. So then, Middlesbrough, I want to talk about this game briefly. We started the game canny well. I thought we were on the front foot. We looked like they were the team who was going to score the first goal. And I thought, oh, this is positive. The second half, it comes in spells. Middlesbrough had a spell, we had a spell. And so the end of the first half, it was an even game. Now, there was a turning point in the game, but I'll get to that in a minute. The second half, we were shocking. We were shocking. Absolutely diabolical. The changes need to come earlier. I've seen a lot of people saying that he got his substitutes bang on. In a sense, he did, but the timing of his substitutes was just off. If he made them that little bit earlier, we might have been looking at 3 points in this game. I thought Middlesbrough, a lot of clubs are having this similar tactic towards Sunderland, and that is to get in our faces and rough us up and concede fouls, and it disrupts our game plan. It really does. It disrupts our style of football, and that's what Greenwood was doing all game. How he stayed on the pitch is beyond me, because he could have easily picked up 2 yellow cards, and he didn't get one. The foul leading up to their goal was a yellow card decision, not for Dan Neil, for the opposition. That goal came through the referee making an absolute shambolic decision. We all know these referees are terrible. I thought there would be an improvement from League One, and it just doesn't look like it to me. They're shocking, and that's what happened against Middlesbrough. Now, to say we should have won that game, I'm not saying that at all, because I'll be happy with a point, and I was happy with a point. A point away from home, anybody will tell you, is a good point, regardless. But taking our history into account, it's even better that we're going to a point down there, because we've been terrible down there since the 60s. So, no, it was a decent point. Like I say, the substitutes, what Bale brought on, Rusin should have been starting the game. We all know this. I can't understand what he says in Burstow. And I know Burstow does get about the pitch and he does press well, but the qualities what Rusin offers it's a different level in my opinion. It's clear to see that there's 6 years difference in the development in the two players, because Rosen is he's a proper threat when he come on. He changed the game. We upped our game tenfold when he came on, and the way he took his chance, he could have easily ballooned that, but he sort of got over the top of it and put it down low. If he guns across the keeper, he makes a really good save. But no, he beat him at the near post as well. A lot of people say that, the keeper should have done better. I tend to disagree, because it bounced just in front of the keeper and it sort of put him off. Probably should have done better, but nonetheless, it was a good chance and a good goal by Rosen. Do you know what I'm starting to realise? That Sunderland were being one of the most foul teams in the league. Stats are there to prove it. Ipswich, we've got any amounts of fouls. Hull, 17, and Middlesbrough was 17, and there's a few other games in there. The teams are coming and they're disrupting our game plan. They're getting into Jack Clark, they're isolating them, conceding fouls, stopping our free-flowing football, and it has a good effect on us, because 9 times out of 10, when that happens, we didn't score. So we have to come up with a plan B to stop that from happening. But that could be a tweak in tactics. It doesn't necessarily have to mean a change in formation. It could be just a tweak in tactics. Instead of having inverted wingers or Clark bombing on and trying to make things happen to himself, bring other players into play. And now just look what Clark done against Stoke. It was similar in that sense. Clark didn't score against Stoke and we scored 3 goals. So we've got to look at that. We've got to get Ekwa further up the pitch, in my opinion, because I think Dan Neil is a better holding midfielder than what Ekwa is. I think we see the best out of Ekwa when he played further forward. But the lineup, listen, like I said, the same lineup what started against Middlesbrough, other than Rosen starts. Yelder, I thought, was mint against Middlesbrough. I really did. I thought he was outstanding. He's been tossed in at the deep end. Needs time to adapt to. Listen, he's coming to a new team. He's got to understand how each individual plays, and they get an understanding in time. So that's what I'm talking about. We've got to have patience with these young players, remember. And another one, I wouldn't mind having a rest. I'm saying having a rest, but it's Bellingham. Now, I know the club see him as their star boy, and he's going to be worth X amount in the future, which I have no doubt he will. But at this minute, he has flashes of brilliance, in my opinion. He really does. Like, 1 minute you think, go on, crack on. And then the next, he's losing possession. He looks lethargic. He looks slow. He's very slow to the press. And I just feel as if, like, he needs it spell out the team. Now, I wouldn't mind giving Elshish more minutes as well. I know Elshish he probably had a little bit of a nightmare against Ipswich. The free kick what he gave away, I thought the player was very smart and he went down very easy for that free kick to be whipped in. And his chance, he missed an absolute sitter. All he has to do is put his laces through it. But now look at Bar. Bar had the same opportunity against Middlesbrough. And I know Stephen said it in his video. He was thinking about what happened at the stadium, like when he put it out of the stadium. And he was thinking that, so he put a side foot on it rather than putting it through his laces. He decided with the player and it would have went in. So I understand, like, these players are young. These players are going to make mistakes. And that's why we need to have more patience than what we normally would have with these young players. We've got to just give them plenty of time. Plymouth, I think this is going to be a harder game than what most people think. The 15th at the minute, on 36 points. They beat us, they're only 5 points behind us. They've got Whittaker, who we were also linked to, which I didn't understand for the life of us why we didn't put a bid in for him or even have talks with the lad. I think they got, they sold him for $1 million, was it? 16 goals and 6 assists on your £1 million return. Him and Hardy are keeping Plymouth in a decent position in the league. For me, it's consolidation for Plymouth. Their supporters should be happy with just staying in the league, and I think they will be. They've done outstanding under the previous manager. Obviously, he's left now, and Foster's in charge. And with the change in managers, I still think they're doing really well. They've only lost 2 games in 10 in the league, and that was Leicester and Southampton. Now, that just speaks volumes in itself. I know there's a lot of draws in there as well, but to only lose 2 in 10, it's just... I think they're doing really well this time of the season. Also, threats, what we've got to keep an eye on is Mumba. We all know Mumba. He should never have left for peanuts under Donald, but he did. And yeah, I would like to know from any Plymouth Argyle supporters, how's he getting on? He's got 2 goals and 3 assists up to now. Now, I've got a little soft spot for Plymouth. I hope the D stop up. Also, they've got Adam Randall, who's got 3 goals and 1 assist also. In the last 5 games, they beat Swansea away, which is an absolute belter of a result for them. They did beat the game before that, Cardiff 3-1 and all. They drew with Huddersfield. They drew with Watford in a class game, 3-3. The game before that, though, they did lose. But it was one of the teams out the 2 who they've lost to in the last 10, and that was Southampton, which, you know, you can forgive that. It was only a 2-1 defeat as well. Canny close game. Still think it's going to be a tough game, but I'm going to back the lads. I'm going to get right behind them. I was really impressed with Yelda. I was really, really impressed with Russo when he came on as a substitute. Obviously, Hume, he's been outstanding all season. Now, Ballard, with him being fit, I'm out of the moon because I gave him man of the match against Stoke. I thought he was rock solid, and he has been most of the season. Even the Mags game where we got beat 3-0, I thought he was our best player. I really did. And without him, I would be worrying. Luke O'Nien, he's probably the best at bringing the ball out the back, but still for me, I prefer him in as a defensive midfielder than an actual out-and-out centre-back. But it's been all right the past couple of games, he really has, I'm not going to lie. Now then, with all that being said, I'm going to go for a Sunderland 3-1 win. Comment below your score prediction. Let's see how well yours do. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. If you're brand new, we'll see you in the match vlog.